In this video, we're going to cover all the updates to our PointCentral 11.0 release. I'm going to put up the housekeeping with the legal disclaimer, give you a minute to read that before we proceed on. We're going to start off walking through all of the new features and updates that we have inside the system, and then I'm going to go into the program and show you where those are at and how they function. The first new feature that we have in PointCentral 11.0 is that we've added a delete file history page to the PointCentral admin site. We've added the import and export options for the 3.4 in data folders with the access rights for users. Some updates for our rules. We've updated 2 fields in PointCentral to match the field names inside of Point to make it easier when building out rules. Those are the 6010 and the 6018. We've also corrected some verbiage on a Calyx rule application data entry in the description area. And we've added some demographic information checkboxes. There's 4 there from the loan application, page 7 and 8. These now are available for rules. Some updates we did for reporting. We've updated the Calyx reports that had Excels with them, so they will no longer have errors when you're editing or generating those reports inside of Point. We've also corrected the combined field ID purpose as well as the P type, which is the property type. And we've also updated the field ID 13412. This is from our banker closing instructions to populate all the numbers in that field to the report. And final, for the reporting area, we have updated the condition date fields to export 4 digits for the year rather than 2. Some other updates that we have here is the custom fields. We've updated the table to allow the usage of the new custom screen with the text log feature that allows you to enter more characters. We've also increased the character limit for the field 2819, which is the underwriter comments on the new combined transmittal summary. We've updated the verbiage and the file usage information on the template screen, so now it will match with the system. Some technical updates that we have in this release is we have updated the file version for the Telerik UI. This is for added security. You'll also see the removal of previous PointCentral versions when you are upgrading. When you upgrade to the PointCentral 11.0, this will automatically remove the versions 10.1 through 10.7. Anything older than that is going to need to be manually removed from the list. We also have the removal of the import user access rights option when you're importing a data folder. Our final updates inside of our PointCentral 11.0 is we have added support for Microsoft Windows Server 2022, and we have discontinued the support for Microsoft SQL 2012. So let me open up our system and I'll show you these updates where they are. We're going to go over to our PointCentral administrator on the website here and log in. When you log in, you'll see the first screen has your release notes. This is all the information that we just covered, so you can always refer back to all of the updates. If you don't see this page, it is also on the home page up at the top with the check the release notes. This will also take you back to that screen for reference of all the new updates. The first new feature we're going to talk about is the deleted file history page. So this is a new report that's been added. So we're going to go to the Reports tab on the left. And then the very bottom option is the deleted file history. You can see on this screen you do have a search bar at the top, so you can search for specific deleted files, print groups, or templates. Or if you click search, it will show you all of the data files, print groups, or templates that have been deleted. To have a deleted file history, you must enable it inside of PointCentral. So let's walk through that. You're going to go to Configuration on the left, the Parameters, and we're going to scroll down and you'll see the deleted file history page. You have to check that enable tracking of the deleted files and templates and click the Save button out to the right. You also must put in a retention period. You can put that in for years and months and then click the Save button. A note for you, depending on how long of a retention period that you put in here, you may want to verify that you have enough hard drive space for the SQL database to capture all of that information. Also, if you update your retention period and make that shorter, those previous records in that time frame will be deleted out of the system. Another new feature that was added was the added import and export of that 3.4. So this is going to be inside of each of your data folders as your user access rights. So I'm going to go to the data folders over on the left and list data folders. So I'm going to use the example of my first data folder, the PointCentral. So I'm going to click Edit beside it. And this will pull up the information about this data folder. You can see below we have my group access rights. I'm going to click on the edit next to the admin to open up their rights. The area that we're looking at is the loan management. It's kind of in the middle of the screen here. We now have two new checkboxes, the export and import of the Fannie 3.4 file. So this is inside each of your data folders, inside the user groups or individual users' access rights. Our next updates are two rules. So I'm going to go to Rules on the left and Add Rule. And here we're going to type in the track agent to show you these new track agent fields. I'm going to click Add Rule here and select a type just so we can get to these fields below. What's been updated is the field number 6010. The wording here, the legal entity checkbox, this is the same wording now found under track agent list with the legal entity fields. So it'll be easier to make rules with these fields if you did need to. So this is the first one that was updated on that screen, and also 6018. Let's go back over to our rules and list rule. We're going to go to page 2 of our Calyx rules here and going to click Edit next to our application date entry. The update here is just to the description section up top, just updating the verbiage to the description. I've also added some of the demographic information checkboxes from application page 7 and 8. These are now available for rules if you decided you wanted to pull that into a rule for your system. The next updates are for reporting. In the updates to the report, most of these are going to be inside of Point. So I'm going to go down to the reports and marketing and show you there. In any of the Calyx reports that you see with parentheses with Excel afterwards, these have all been updated to prevent errors when you're editing or generating these reports inside of Point. We've updated the reports combined ID field. This would be when you are creating a report, so that would be down in your templates area and up to our reports and marketing. The combined field ID for the loan purpose has been updated. These fields have codes that populate in the field ID. In the field name area, however, you can start typing. So I'm going to start typing in loan purpose. Push tab and you can see the field ID PURP is there. This has been updated to show the limited cash out when selected instead of showing a purchase option. The other field ID that was updated is the property type. So again, I'm going to start typing that in, push tab, and you can see the field ID is P type. That is now updated to correctly show the property type from the loan application instead of a numerical value. I'm going to jump back up into our loan. Another field that was updated for this release is up in the bankers and closing instructions. So let me show you that area. Banker, we've got closing documents and then closing instructions. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. In the wire 2 area, our reference number, this has been updated in this release. It's now going to populate all of the numbers to the report rather than cutting off several of the numbers that show inside of the screen. We've also updated the condition date fields. This is under banker and conditions. So let me go over to this screen. On the banker's conditions screen, the loan conditions area below, inside here we've updated field 15258, which is the created date, 15260, which is the collected date, and the 15262, which is the submitted date. These now will all export a 4-digit year as opposed to a 2-digit year that they were submitting previously. We've updated the custom fields table to allow you to use that new custom screen long text options. I'm going to go up and show you what field has been added. So this is going to be up in your custom screens. So under utilities, and your custom screen settings. This is where you can create any custom screens to collect data that's not currently inside of Point. What we have added is the field type. So in the drop-down you can see there is now an option for text long. This allows more characters inside of the program for you to enter to use then in reports or on custom forms. We've also updated the underwriter comments area on the new transmittal summary. The underwriter's comments section here, this will now allow for more character input. We've also updated the verbiage and file usage information on the templates screen. So I'm going to show you that real quick. It's under configuration, template set maintenance, and template types. Now these Point screen locations will match what is inside of Point, allowing you to find that easier. The technical updates that we have in PointCentral 11.0 is that we've updated the Telerik UI. This is for the purpose of resolving security vulnerabilities. We've also removed the previous PointCentral versions from the window control panel, programs and features area during our upgrades. So when you do upgrade to the PointCentral.11, this will automatically remove back to 10.1. Anything older than that will need to be manually removed from the list. We've also removed the import of user access rights when you are importing conventional Point data folders. So if you have moved a folder in, then you will need to set those users up as if it was a blank data folder. Our update has also updated some of our system requirements. We are now adding support for Microsoft Windows Server 2022 and discontinuing support for Microsoft SQL 2012. If you have any questions, please reach out to our dedicated customer service at 1-800-342-2599.